So the question is the Kirkland Bottled and Bond a nice alternative to the generally unavailable 1792 Bottled and Bond? Let's talk about that today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. Let's do this. So like I mentioned on the intro, we're talking Kirkland Bottled and Bond. And again, is this a nice alternative to really the unavailable Bottled and Bond from 1792? So we're gonna kind of dive into that today, see if this is a pretty decent value for what it is. You know, generally I would say immediately out of the gate, yes, considering what they are, but we'll dive into that a little bit more. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the color and see if there's any oils that are going to show up on this glass. So you can see kind of a nice kind of deep, maybe honey type of color. Moving the whiskey around in the glass a little bit. Decent oils. Not going to say this is a super oily looking bourbon, but you know, not bad either. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into the nose. Boy, so right away I get this really nice, fresh, rich, like caramel note. Again, some of that really nice sweet oak. It's almost a little like rickhousey kind of oak on that. A little bit of like a confectionery sugar. A little bit of like a green apple. Maybe even something like an Applejack cereal, something along those lines. Nice like kind of light cinnamon note, like a cinnamon toast crunch. A lot of cereal analogies here. Yeah, more cinnamon definitely there. Nice kind of like little bit of a rye or a baking spice that's on that. Pretty sweet nose so far right out of the gate. I would say this is something that kind of falls into that kind of tried and true type of bourbon category. So like when you're trying to describe something, maybe secondary with the apple notes, which isn't something you get on all bourbons, but so far fairly consistent with just a nice overall you know, nose on a bourbon. Say maybe even a little hint of like a grain, maybe even a little slight kind of ethanol that's on that. Let's go ahead and see how this one's gonna taste, but before we do, let's hear a word from today's video sponsor. So today we're talking whiskey glasses. When only the best is what you demand, Uniwhisk has you covered. Who wants ordinary when you can have something that's extraordinary? Each one of these whiskey glasses is hand cut and crafted using only the finest lead-free crystal glass. These glasses come in several different designs. These two glasses here happen to be the Supernova and the Gravity. They come both packaged in single individual glasses, or you can select the set to have these shipped. Make sure you use the code JOURNEY10 at checkout. That's gonna save you an additional 10% off your entire order. I have to say a big thank you to Uniwhisk for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's go ahead and see how this one's gonna taste. Cheers. So my first thought immediately actually is wanting to focus on the mouthfeel. It's fairly velvety, pretty creamy. Again, that caramel, maybe caramel apple, that apple cinnamon jack kind of cereal note, very, very prevalent so far on the palate. Actually pretty nice baking spices as well. The oak is wanting to kind of cover or coat the entire palate, so you're getting a little bit of that sweet kind of rich oak that's sitting there on the palate. Yeah, really kind of digging the spice part of it. Again, fairly velvety, pretty creamy so far. Nice caramel apple notes. Maybe a hint of like a brown sugar, maybe a light molasses, something along those lines. Also a little bit of a tartness. I'm gonna say maybe like a lemon, like a lemon bar, something like that, where you're still getting a little bit of the sweetness, but there's also this brightness or slight kind of tartness to it as well. Yeah, also with the brown sugar that's there's a little hint of a citrus. In addition to the lemon, also maybe a hint of orange. So that orange, lemon, kind of brown sugar combo is starting to kind of linger a little heavier on the palate. Again, also combined with that, there's still that sweet oak, definitely some of that apple cinnamon, things along those lines. I mean, I think overall, this is a really nice everyday sipping kind of bourbon, you know, at right around that $23.99 for a 1 liter. Again, this is all distilled by 1792, you know, making it the kind of perfect alternative to, you know, not being able to find this guy here. So, I mean, I think overall it offers a nice value. It's a pretty nice sipping, you know, bourbon. If you're okay with not necessarily needing to be blown away by proof, it's not going to give you that. But what it does give you is that 1792 consistency. It's just right there. It's offering, again, that nice bourbon profile. You don't have to overthink this. You can pour it, sip on it, use it for cocktails, any of those things. I think this is going to really serve its purpose pretty well. So as we kind of transition again into the finish, I'm going to say maybe medium-ish. Again, you've got that nice baking spice, much more of that kind of caramel, apple, cinnamon, a little bit of lemon, that tartness kind of combined with orange zest that's there as well. Like I had mentioned, overall at $23.99 for a 1 liter, these are starting to hit and become a little bit more available, you know, in Costco's. So if you can get one, I wouldn't hesitate to pick this up at all. I think it has its lane that it needs to be in, and it's right there. I think, again, like I had mentioned, $23.99, it's gonna be kind of hard to beat. And again, at a 1 liter, you know, makes it a buy recommendation for me. Again, as long as you tamper your expectations with what exactly this is, you know, it being a bottled and bond, you know, 4 years old, 100 proof, it's serving its purpose. I think it's doing really a nice job of that, you know, overall. So there you have it. Here's the Kirkland Bottled and Bond, also produced by Barton, 1792. So, you know, if you're unable to find some of the 1792 Bottled and Bond, I'm gonna say right away, this is a nice alternative. You know, again, at that $23.99, a 1 liter, they're becoming a little bit more readily available based on, you know, certain Costco's and things that people go into, but I'm seeing much more of this stuff on the shelves, you know, in different locations. So again, if you can find the Kirkland Bottled and Bond, small batch, foolproof, whatever it is, I'm gonna say go ahead and give them a buy. I think at those price points and the lane that they're trying to kind of go down, I have no problem with that whatsoever. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my videos. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel or become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out the Patreon link linked in the description below. So guys, thank you so much again. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.
Bring my energy back, girl, you're something like the sunlight. Girl, you're something like the sunshine. You got the touch, girl, you got the best. Sending dirty pics, ooh, what's next? We should link up, let me guess. Keep it 100, keep it solid. It's a lone wolf, you know I'm wildin'. Stepping outside, feeling fresh, real to the depths of you.